Hello and welcome to today's pandemic update video for Wednesday, August 31st, 2022. Most of the country still remains in high levels of transmission. However, more counties have switched over to substantial level of transmission, with 89.82% at high and 6.15% at substantial. Still not too many counties in the moderate to low column, with 2.2% in moderate and 1.83% in the low sector, which is indicating that there is still a heck of a lot of coronavirus transmission going on. Taking a look at the varying proportion, which we'll update again on Friday, 88.7% of the cases are BA.5 variant. BA.4.6 makes up 7.5% of the cases. BA.4 makes up 3.6, and BA.2.12.1 makes up just 0.2% of the cases. Taking a look at today's cases, you will see there were a lot of cases today. 147,911 new cases added today. And remember, a lot of states do their weekly update on Wednesday. But deaths today are just awful. It's the highest daily death amount at least since early spring or at some point in late last winter. I can't seem to reclaim how long it's been since we've seen deaths this high, but yeah, 1,237 new deaths added today. Now, there is a disclaimer I want to tell you about. A large chunk of these deaths came from North Carolina. North Carolina had a huge backlog, and I'm going to show that down below when we get into the individual states. North Carolina had a huge backlog today, so that's part of the reason why it's high. The other reason is deaths are still really high, and it's a troubling trend. Testing, 722,391 new tests conducted. Hospitalizations actually dropped by 108 to 36,941. Currently in the ICUs at 4,432. That's down by 97. Alright, taking a look at the national map. You can see here there's a bit of a flattening going on. We're starting to see some more blue pop up again, which indicates there are some states that are trying to rise again while some are trying to drop. Really, the way it is right now is the country as a whole, it's not really dropping that much, but it's not really rising all that much. We're just pretty much in this really high level of cases that we just cannot seem to break, and I don't think we will. We got the BA.4.6 variant, which is ramping up in more areas now, and we'll be talking about that on our spaces tomorrow night. And I think we're just going to see cases remain high. And as football goes back, you get thousands and tens of thousands, in some places, over 100,000 fans at these college football games, NFL games. And all the fall events are coming. People are going to be going back doors soon. I don't think cases are going to drop anymore. If anything, they're going to just start rising. And in other news, the Moderna booster was approved today, the updated booster. Yeah, that's great news, but here's my concern again. How many people are actually going to run out there and get it? Last I saw, 50% of the people didn't even bother to get the previous booster, so we got a huge problem on our hand. If people aren't going to bother getting the boosters, we're not going to get these cases down, and new variants will continue to evolve. That will just break the immunity, and eventually we're going to have a variant that pops up that's completely new and not Omicron. And I'm not talking about BA.2.75. I'm talking about something completely new that completely wipes these vaccines out altogether. And it's only a matter of time until that sadly happens. Let's hope we don't get to that point, but we need to get these cases down. Something needs to stop transmission because this is ridiculous. Alright, let's just do some of the states, not all the states. Texas, 7,425 new cases. Surprisingly, for some reason, they're going up. And I say surprisingly because their positivity continues to drop. And let's take a look at that now. Here's Texas, 23.056 positivity. Look at the chart. It's been dropping since the middle of July. Antigen testing, that's back to dropping again. Alrighty. Florida, 6,150 new cases. They're continuing to drop, and I think that will probably remain the case in Florida up until the holidays. That's the way the last 2 years have been. But with that said, they're going to remain much higher than they were fall of last year because Omicron presents a higher level of transmission, which results in more cases. New York State, remember, reinfections added on Wednesdays, 11,080 cases. And we'll get to their actual number here. Here it is. 4,352 cases, 4.8% positivity. New York State hospitalizations. I want to point something out here today. We've been in this pattern where Tuesday is the highest day of the week, where it tends to be higher than the lowest day of the previous week. Well, we finally broke that spell today. Today's Wednesday. Today is 3 hospitalizations higher than yesterday. 2,332 people in the hospital. And look at this. They haven't really been dropping that much. They're pretty much just been in the 2,000s now since, let's go back here. Yeah, all summer long they've been in the 2,000s. So again, high levels. This is a really high level to be starting off going into the colder weather season. I mean, everyone's saying things are getting back to normal. No. Numbers have never been this high in many states going into the colder months. And that's concerning. If we're starting off already this high, we got a serious problem already. My state, Pennsylvania, 18,264 cases added today. Let's click on Pennsylvania real quickly. Pennsylvania, last week on our Wednesday update, had 17,390 cases. So already Pennsylvania is starting to rise. And that is concerning. And continuing on here, North Carolina, 19,379 new cases, but we want to click on deaths data. They had a huge backlog of deaths added today, 486 deaths, and that's simply because of the fact that if we went into North Carolina, we would see some weekly updates only had 30 deaths. They clearly had a backlog. Georgia also added 140 deaths, and Pennsylvania had a big increase compared to last week in deaths. 120 deaths added here, so even if there was a backlog, hey, deaths are still really high, and that's not good. Georgia, 17,923 cases today. Arizona, 8,600 cases. South Carolina, 13,470 cases. And all these double-digit numbers, aside from New York State, are weekly updates. Louisiana, 2,000 new cases. Kansas, 5,700 new cases. The military added 2,200 new cases today. Vermont added 539 new cases today. That's down ever so slightly from last week, but still it's leveled off. And the one good thing about Vermont is they are lower than where they were at this time last year. But again, I stress caution as we go into the colder months. These numbers will rise because booster uptake, it's low. And as we know, even the Omicron variant update, it's probably not going to prevent transmission. Alrighty, HHS hospitalizations. 37,524 people in the hospital, 76% of all beds in use, 5.38% are used for coronavirus. Walgreens, national positivity is at 32.2%. Some states are rising, some states are falling. I expect that the overall trend is going to eventually be rising. And again, if we go back to this time last year, you can see here we are double what the positivity was this time last year. So, yeah, really bad. Some of it's part of lack of testing. Other is, hey, Omicron's really transmissible. Alrighty, let's take a look at the rest of the world, shall we? India, 5,957 new cases. Don't ask me why their cases are always so low. They have to be at least 10 times higher. They gotta be missing cases. France, 19,000 new cases. Brazil, 58,000 new cases. That's concerning. Germany, 39,000 new cases. They're starting to rise again. And 90 new deaths. We come down here to UK, 4,000 cases. South Korea, whopping 103,000 new cases. Italy is remaining at that 21,000 level, which we've been watching for the past several days, plus 90 deaths. Italy will probably start rising again. Russia, 46,000 new cases. And Japan, 139,582 new cases, plus 311 deaths. When we take a look at total deaths, Japan ranks at number 27, soon to be number 26 for number of deaths. Real quickly, monkeypox outbreak. Around the world, there's 50,803 confirmed cases. There are now 18 confirmed deaths. Taking a look at the individual states, or individual countries, I should say, United States added 572 cases today. While that's still very high, it is slightly down from last week, but I don't by any means think it's just going to quickly disappear. Monkeypox is not going to disappear. We're going to be dealing with it at least through all the winter season and probably into next year. What will happen at that point is anyone's guess. Germany, 12 cases. Peru, 33 more cases added. Canada, 21 more cases added. Netherlands, 24 more cases added. So while some countries are slowing down, other parts of the world are picking up the pace. And if you notice here, though there is a slight drop around the world, it's not really dropping all that fast, and it's probably going to start rising again. We're back to college, back to fall. Alrighty. Thanks for watching this video, and remember to continue masking everywhere you go. N95 or better. None of them blue surgical masks or cloth masks. That doesn't do you any bit of good. If you're getting gas, wear gloves. If you're going to the grocery store, it's up to you. I suggest wearing gloves. I wear gloves when I get groceries, and I think you should too. Alrighty, thanks for watching this video. Bit longer than normal, but we haven't done one of these in a while. Real quickly, tomorrow I am doing a Twitter Spaces at 8 p.m. You don't want to miss it. I'm going to be giving an update on where we stand, what I think the next variant could potentially be in the United States, and, where I think we go into weeks and months ahead. Basically my opinion on the future of this pandemic. And if you want to chime in with a question or opinion, by all means, request to speak. We love to hear other people come up on the mic. Alright, thanks for watching. Stay safe, everyone. Remember to hit the like and subscribe button down below. Have a good night.